My name is Polina. I gave birth to my daughter when I was 13 years old. The father was a boy named Ilya who went to the same school as me. He was a year older. Unlike the stories of other young mothers, no one filmed talk shows about us, and no one brought our whole family to a studio. This didn't happen because my dad was categorically against any publicity. He believed, and as it turned out, he was right and far-sighted, that such a spotlight would only harm the family. Now I'm 19 years old, and I already have 2 children. I decide for myself whether to give interviews or not, for example, to this blogger. How it all started. It happened like this. I met Ilya on social media. We texted for a long time. I wasn't even thinking about any serious relationship. Then he started dating my best friend, but a couple of months later, he confessed his love to me. I was just starting puberty, hormones were raging, and I didn't have much control over my feelings. We started dating, but it was a very childish relationship. We held hands. I hadn't even kissed him yet. Our relationship lasted about a year. One day I went to his house. His parents and sister went out for a walk. We were supposed to go out soon too. But he closed the door and started coming on to me. I resisted, told him I was scared. My parents were strict. The school medical checkup was soon, including the gynecologist. I was afraid they would find out I was no longer a virgin. But he persisted, and at some point I gave in. It happened the first and last time. A couple of days later, he blocked me everywhere and disappeared. About the pregnancy. My period had just started. My cycle wasn't regular yet, so for a long time I didn't understand what was happening. I only realized I was pregnant in the 4th month, when the baby moved for the first time. At first I thought it was just gas, but then it became obvious. I took a test, 2 bright lines. I immediately tried to tell Ilya. I approached him at school and said, "I'm pregnant." He replied, "It's not my child," and started humiliating me in front of the whole class. Everyone laughed at me. He even hit me on the head with a piece of wood in shop class. After that, I was afraid to approach him. I walked through school like a gray mouse, sucked in my stomach, wore baggy clothes. Everyone discussed and humiliated me. He told everyone what had happened between us. How I told my parents. My parents found out a month before the birth. I was very afraid of their reaction. Not that they would punish me, but that my dad might feel sick. I'm his only daughter. My mom figured it out when she hugged me and felt my stomach. She was horrified. I think her hair even turned gray at that moment, but they didn't yell at me. When my dad came home from work, he just said, "Well, let's go to a private clinic and get examined." The ultrasound showed I was already 35 weeks along, due to give birth in a couple of weeks. We told Ilya's parents. His father initially said something about helping, like I'll chip in for a taxi to the hospital, but in the end, they didn't get involved at all. It's been 6 years now. They provide no help and are not involved in my daughter's life. The last month of pregnancy was the happiest. My mom and I bought a crib, a stroller, clothes. I talked to my belly. Childbirth. Right before the birth, we were called to the police to give testimony against Ilya. A criminal case had been opened against him. During the interrogation, he said he wasn't the father. For me, it was a knife in the back. I sobbed. That night, my water broke, and in the morning, strong contractions started. We took a taxi to the maternity hospital and got stuck in traffic. At the hospital, I was already 5 centimeters dilated. My mom was with me the whole time, trying to distract me, even suggested playing word games. The labor lasted all day. I gave birth in the evening. They placed my daughter, Uliana, on my stomach. We looked into each other's eyes, and I immediately knew, she's mine, my daughter. She was born healthy, 3,480 grams and 50 centimeters. The doctors, for some reason, immediately asked if we were filling out the paperwork, apparently thinking we would give her up. My mom said, "No, we're taking the child," and their attitude towards us changed instantly. For the first few days, I was afraid to hold her. Thought I would break her. My mom did everything. But then my maternal instinct kicked in, and I started doing everything myself. Life after childbirth. We were called to the school, and for my own safety, they suggested I switch to homeschooling to avoid bullying. I studied at home, then returned to school for 9th grade to prepare for exams. We put Uliana in a private daycare when she was a year and 1 month old. People on the street gave me sideways glances, especially young people, giggling behind my back. My girlfriends turned away from me. They were ashamed to be friends with someone like me. Now I have one friend, but we're not very close. About my family, my parents are divorced. I lived with my mom until I was 5, then moved in with my dad. He loved me very much and spoiled me, bought me everything I wanted. My mom is strict. She worked as a cook in a school cafeteria. My dad works as a fitter plumber at a power plant. I have an older sister and a younger sister. My dad doesn't have anyone else. Many people think teenage pregnancy only happens in troubled families. But I had a normal life. My parents loved me and paid attention to me. They just never talked to me about sex education. My dad, being a man, didn't know how, and my mom let that moment slip. I knew about contraception from the internet and even talked to Ilya about it, but he said they wouldn't sell him condoms because he was too young. The second child. When I was 18, I gave birth to my son, Kirill. I met his father at a mall. He was married and had his own children. It happened by accident, also the first time. The relationship didn't work out. We're not together now. About the future. Now I live with my dad. He helps manage the finances. I receive child benefits and earn money from a blog on Instagram. I give the money to my dad. He's teaching me about investing so the money can work. I'm saving for my children's future. I dream of getting a mortgage and buying them at least a one-room apartment each. So far, I've saved $400,000. I plan to go to night school, improve my grades, and get a profession. I want to show my children that you should never give up, that any situation can be fixed. I'm an optimist and always try to find the positives even in the worst situation.